two, one. Boost ignition and liftoff. All systems are go.
Welcome to the Lesbo and the Bean universe. Lesbo and the Bean. LATB, LATB, where mixed martial arts and the UFC get silly. Big silly. Buckle up and move your tray tables to their upright position. And please, somebody shut that baby up. It's time for Lesbo and the Bean.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 143. We have had a week of fights with all the ring jumping, with everybody getting beat up. All the litigation came through. Khabib is on lockdown a full 10 days. But before we get into all of that, how have you been? What do you think has been going on in the UFC verse? Because it's a lot.
It's our Sal Governale episode. If you listen to Howard Stern, 143, you'll understand. His wife had an affair on, or like an emotional friend at work, and they would text each other little messages, and he would write 143 for I love you to her. And Sal's like, what's this 143 mean?
Oh my, Sal got in a fight, right? In a fist fight?
No, he went to a therapist and tried to save his marriage.
Good for him. I would kick
Your
somebody in the leg.
emotions that just went through that exact thing are the whole show. That's what half the dudes are like, what kind of man are you?
Yeah, exactly. This is an MMA podcast. You know how we get down.
Yeah,
Leg kick
right.
city.
Yeah.
That'll change your life real quick. Make you stop texting somebody real quick.
That's what Joe Rogan thinks. One leg kick, Conor could end the Floyd Mayweather fight. Just with one leg kick.
We're back to that already. It's already so far.
He's the one who brought it up. I'm just following King Joe.
So, there has been just tons of podcasts out, tons of MMA information. Sijara Eubanks versus Valentina Shevchenko. That is officially scratched. Here at LATB, we were devastated when we heard that news because we really wanted to see that fight. But
our girl deserves her belt. How many? And Sanjay wasn't ducking her. It's just she's not going to be able to get a fight. Joanna wanted the fight later.
To prepare.
And then after the fans caused a tidal wave of hate for that being... No one hated the fight. We just hated that it was the main event of something that you've left empty for fucking a year.
We also hate that you took away a super fight to make a nothing fight.
What was the super fight?
Joanna versus...
Oh, yeah.
Shevchenko.
You shouldn't even have told us about Joanna
exactly.
Shevchenko. You shouldn't even have teased us. So then they made it later. I think that's on 2-3-1 now. I think Shevchenko, Joanna's...
Didn't it move back to the regular spot?
No.
Oh,
it's on a whole different fight card. The main event on 230 now is...
Daniel Cormier versus the Black Beast. And that is because we have officially also had Dustin Diamond Poirier fall out of the fight with Nate Diaz.
Because that was never the main event.
Oh, right. Oh, officially, the UFC had never given it to it.
Yeah, how do you feel about the Black Beast with Daniel Cormier? This is a weird fight for me.
I would agree with that. This is short notice. As short notice gets, this is a Michael Bisping type of situation. I don't know how Derrick Lewis absorbs 68 punches in a fight and gets medically cleared to fight within 30 days.
I don't think it's 30 days, because it's not happening until... like November 30th, or it's a long way away. November 11th. I don't know. I think it's just over 30 days. So maybe that's how. Maybe it's just over.
It's just over. If it's like 32 days, that works. I mean,
we should know when this fight card is. I feel like it's forever away.
It's not. I feel like there's only 2, but we're going to have a little bit of a break here for about 2 weeks before we get into the 27th, I believe, of the month. But we're going to have a lot of PFLs, Bellators, and a lot of other grappling situation, combat sports related that I'm sure we're going to be able to get into.
So at the end of the month is Volkan vs. Smith, October 27th. And then on November 10th is Frankie Edgar versus the Korean Zombie. And then on November 24th is Blades versus Ngannou.
Woo!
So it's a long way away.
It is a long
it's like
way
6
away.
weeks.
So, never mind. I thought it was much shorter.
I did too. I don't think you're weird on thinking that. I think a lot of people, because I really did too until just then. I just feel like it's forever until we even get a fight, and then there's weird fights in between. They felt like they were right on top of each other because we got that press conference together.
Exactly. But the hype is real.
Blah.
The hype is real. If you haven't seen footage going out there.
I just don't even understand, and I like what Derrick Lewis said as well. He thought Stipe deserved the match.
I agree with that, and that's just the realness and the credit that we've always gave to the Black Beast. We've been here at LaTB championing that guy's Instagram before Joe Rogan knew him, before all that was cool. We always said, follow this man. The Black Beast,
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, rightfully so, is just like, hey, give me a short notice fight with this guy who has no cardio and give me another paycheck.
That when he gets taken down, he can't do anything about it.
Exactly. So, of course, DC's going to take this fight.
Like,
It's
I'll
one of
make
the
it
easier
a
fights
quick
in the
night.
division.
Yeah, and Stipe's ready for a fight. He's been asking for it. It's kind of shitty.
It sucks ass. But it's a marquee fight with all of the hype, though. People have already been cutting together, splicing. The Popeyes franchise better jump on this hype fight real quick because the fans have already done it for them. If you haven't seen that trailer for the Crown of
I
Popeyes
haven't.
champion, oh my goodness. Woo! Follow the Bean
I
at
will.
Zol tonight,
I'll
and you'll
check
see
it
a
out.
retweet of a really fun compilation that's been going around the internet there that it'll make you laugh. But it cuts together like a year ago. Derrick Lewis told Daniel Cormier, why would you want to knock me out? In the back, you just said that. And Derrick Lewis is like, because I didn't like you disrespecting Popeye's chicken on that video where he was rubbing the chicken on your titties. And it's going to be a fun one. I didn't need it. It's not a fight I needed in my life, but I'm okay with it.
You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need.
I'm
It is
okay
a weird
with it.
fight. And you know what else is really weird? I've thought about Derrick Lewis being my heavyweight champion, and it does not bother me at all. I like it.
It's the Rocky story. It's a guy who's always been like, I tried to retire like a year and a half ago because my back was so bad. He's been multiple times outed for his pre-fight warm-up, which is eating a
And
plate
he's an
of ribs
American
with cornbread.
hero. He's an American dream. He was everything
He's on
great
the
about
news,
being
national
a good
news.
American dude.
National news for helping out racists, carrying their flags, and Derrick Lewis is American
He
made.
helped
He's
people
American
out in
muscle.
hurricanes, if you don't know what that meant. He helped people in Texas. Isn't he Texas born and bred?
Houston, baby.
And his town got flooded really bad during Hurricane Harvey, maybe. And he has a huge, enormous truck and helped people out. It was pretty cool. I love Derrick Lewis.
Exactly. American heart. That's American muscle.
That Ronda Rousey sure is a lucky girl.
Oh! I'm sure we already talked about that fake tweet by Ronda
Yeah, that was
Rousey.
no, I don't think we
Oh,
did say it too. It was so funny.
It was such
If
a
you-
good tweet.
Somebody did some photoshopping and put out a tweet that it made Rhonda look like she, I don't know, said something like, I am hot and bothered by that Derrick Lewis comment with his hot balls. His hot. You know, and rewatching that, Joe Rogan, to me, is the unsung hero of that whole clip. Because he is that much funnier because he's so dry in that moment. Like, why'd you take your pants off? Because my balls was hot.
he laughed. He
No,
definitely-
he keeps it totally together. He's
Oh.
like, well, sir, I can understand. Or just, he
Yep.
he keeps it so
I understand.
together.
Yeah, he did say
Like, he
oh,
just keeps it so chill and together, and I just thought it was pretty impressive. Like, he ended up laughing before, but that wasn't the only funny thing that Derrick Lewis said in
Well,
that moment.
Since then, Derrick Lewis has made his rounds on social media platforms, listening to other MMA casts, and Derrick Lewis came in asking for Victoria's Secret to maybe get a sponsor for, some of them sexy underwear or whatever. He's taking all comers, so he's okay with this fight because he's going to get paid. And
I have one.
Priceless, please.
Hey, Invicta, screw Elias Theradoa. Let's put the Black Beast as a ring boy. # new ring boy.
Oh my goodness, I love that
Isn't
idea.
that way more fun?
That is so much better.
We have to tweet it out after
We
this.
do have to at Derrick
Maybe I'll have to
Lewis.
put him on, like, walking in a... That'll be the cover of this episode.
He'll Insta that. You can make a really
#
good.
ring boy.
Hell yeah, ring man.
Oh, ring man, yeah.
Ring man. It's the Black
Black
Beast.
boy,
It's the Black Beast.
and
No.
you cannot call a black man boy in America.
Not in this state.
Not in Texas.
So,
I would never. A ring man.
Ring
yeah,
man.
who needs a ring boy when you could get a ring
Ring-
man?
I could see that a really good push on that for the Invicta Ring Man Challenge. Derrick Lewis, make it happen, fans.
On this, I think it was the Sunday after the fight, he got 500,000 new followers on his Instagram.
We've been telling you from day one when he got his first Instagram account, follow this man.
That's why you got Instagram. You had it forever, but that's why you went back.
I went back to it because I was just like, this guy is awesome.
You're the one who told me about it.
Yep.
You were like, you have to follow him.
And told the LaTB Legion as well. I remember being like, guys, this dude is real deal, American Steel, Carnage, Incorporated.
And that is not a Colby Covington or the Carney. We are talking about either of those people.
That's original. That was off the cuff.
Doesn't he say American Steel? Like real?
Yeah, I think he... But I think he stole that from his as well, the other things. That's an old wrestling line.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially in Oregon. Wasn't he up there training?
Oh, yeah. I got Rowdy.
So what else do we have going on? Did you hear about the other fight that they're talking about for 232?
Gustafsson, John Jones.
How are you on that?
Again, not a fight I was looking for. I'll take it just because I want to see John Jones in there. Gus, we just see him so rarely that I feel like John Jones has fought more often than Alexander Gustafsson in the time frame since John Jones has been in trouble. Been in trouble again, and still come back before Gus fights.
I was hating on it, but I want John Jones to make a legitimate run at being the best ever. Everyone talks about it. I want him to have this real stint of wins that he's clean for. And I also think he needs a warm-up fight. He is a guy that shows that he does have ring rust when he comes back. So I guess it's all right. I was hating on it. I just have no interest in seeing Gus, and I don't think it should be for the belt.
I agree with that, but then the only other fight is for Brock Lesnar, and again, Cormier. Everybody thought that fight was going to happen immediately, but Cormier trying to skirt it and, again, get a first-round TKO over Derrick Lewis on the ground because he can get there.
I'm more intrigued by Luke Rockhold versus John Jones or Yoel Romero versus John Jones.
I would love either one of those fights for
then
sure.
Gus. Over Gus.
Yep.
Luke hasn't looked great of late, but could he look okay at 205? I don't know. But another AKA guy going against John Jones, I thought it might be a good backstory because he's probably in a lot of the footage.
It's John Jones! You don't need no backstory. All you need is head kicks and freaking knockouts, and that's what you get with John Jones.
And then, speaking of, now we'll move on to the second fight of the 230 card.
That is officially fallen out.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz versus Dustin Diamond Poirier. Poirier fell out with an undisclosed injury.
I tell you what the injury is.
Please.
I don't want to fight Nate Diaz. I want to fight Khabib or Tony Ferguson, somebody that moves me up the rankings because he is really fighting. He's a guy that wants the belt. It's not about Dustin's been putting in all the work, and that was a fallback fight because everybody else was held up. But now that you see everybody else is freed up and you see also that... Whatever, Conor does not need to fight Khabib on a rematch. He was schooled in every single way in there, in my opinion. Yeah, he won one round from Khabib. Barely.
Agreed. Controversial.
Controversial
For sure.
I don't think when you win that handedly, I don't think there needs to be an immediate rematch. The reason I say, hey, I'd rather see DC John Jones at 205, which we knew DC was never getting down to 205 again. Because DC looked like he's so good in round one of that fight until he got bip. But now looking back, you're like, oh, he looked so good because John Jones was setting up that head kick. Now, when I rewatch it with John Jones' eyes. But I do think Dustin is playing sick right now. The only way out of a contract is if you're injured. And I definitely think the intriguing fights to him are Tony or Khabib. He has... Nate, what does that do for you, really? Especially at 155. And Nate, hey, homie, use a warm-up fight. Dustin's real deal in there.
He's top 5 guy. He's a guy that's knocking on that championship fight as soon as there's an opening.
I want Kevin Lee versus Nate.
That's a fun one. I would enjoy all of those because all of those guys are in that contention for being next in line for a title shot with
Or
one
Tony
fight.
Ferguson, Nate.
Put all of those guys in a bowl, mix them up. That's what I want.
That's the UFC. Everyone else has been talking about it as well, but I feel like we have screamed about this like 20 episodes back. I don't even know. They all blend together. I don't even know. A 155 like Bellator is doing. Do some kind of tournament like that. And I don't think Conor is even close to the best of that division or like something. He looked awful.
That's not what I remember before the Khabib fight.
I love Conor. Even if he fights John Jones tomorrow, I'll be like, I think Conor can pull
Conor
it out.
can put him out with that left.
Conor can.
He's got that left.
He's like the Jon Snow, King of the North. He like comes back to life.
So with the Conor Khabib fight, some more stats have fallen out, and around that 2.5 million pay-per-view buys has officially come in, or has it officially unofficially come in?
I don't know.
From what I've seen, the speculation is up above the 2 million solid. So around 2.5 is what people that I follow are supposedly getting estimates. Yeah. So that's fourth. If it comes in at around there, that's fourth highest pay-per-view of all time. All time. MMA's on the map, baby. We did it. We did it.
Conor did it.
We are a part of that. If it wasn't for us,
Yeah.
all of our collectiveness, we got to be watching in order to get him on the screens, and he needs to get there.
Did you see Khabib met Putin?
I did see that little tea and scrumpets they had. Do you see Khabib also wrestled his bear, his former nemesis? Probably some generation of like fourth generation bear by this point.
No.
Oh yeah, he's already wrestling red bears again.
He could potentially be. Have you watched any of the conspiracies behind Khabib?
No.
It's not just Ali. There's 3 people around him that are really sketch. Like, he has a super big billionaire around him, like Magomedov, which is that Conor brought up in the interview. Like, you don't care about money. You took money from Magomedov. And he's been arrested on all sorts of embezzlement charges. And then this other politician, this Chechenian leader, who like he is this known for like crazy terrorism stuff across the world.
Yeah, we've talked about him on our cast before. He persecutes gays.
Yeah, but that's just like
Child's play.
Yeah, that's just one of the things. I just think that's the way they're like, hey, America, he even hurts
Well, let me
gays.
turn off my phone so the NSA gets out.
I know. So it's like, it's really intriguing. They said like Putin's numbers were in a certain place when the election was coming up, and he had Emelianenko sit by him at a thing where they looked like they were friends, and that alone shot his, like, how much sport means to the Russians
Combative
is
sports?
so much.
Oh yeah.
So these politicians surrounding themselves with Khabib right now puts them in a certain place, and UFC is like one of becoming an even bigger sport because of this whole thing. Like Conor has,
Oh yeah.
they knew a lot of people knew who Conor was, and now because of that,
Piggybacked.
yeah, you know how we say you can't steal another fighter's shine?
You took his thunder. You stole his thunder.
You
though.
can if you're from a place like that where the sport
Where you can
where it's
sustain a
different.
population of fans.
It's just a really intriguing thing. We talk about conspiracies all the time, and I think if anyone is interested in it, you will dive into stuff that you will be like, what? Next level stuff when you start looking into the 3 people.
Oh yeah, those are definitely big names. And if you even want to get into other LaTB conspiracies, I say we got to get behind that billion strong, because if you're talking about viewership, those people have a humongous market that the UFC's been trying to tap in with Boulard, but that ended up flopping with Siwi mightily. That was a big underdog for you. It was a nice LaTB play here, if I remember correctly. Other talk in UFC versus back to the Eubanks Valentina talk. Have you seen Sijara Eubanks coming after Dana White, Mick Maynard, and the UFC community for that fact? Ben Askren as well on her hit list. She's just been burning bridges or just talking crap because she now feels that, hey, you guys are messing with my life and my paycheck, and it doesn't matter what you guys think. I was going to get paid and be the headliner of a pay-per-view, and I'm like, if I were in her spot, I'd be just as mad. I would be just
Yeah,
as
you
mad.
got a lottery ticket and somebody took it away.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you just won $50,000
She
plus
probably went and bought
pay-per-view
a,
share.
like, okay, people were already
She got a
calling her,
Lexus.
asked to borrow money. Yeah.
She just got a Lexus
Sure
with a lease.
thing. I got you. People already sponsored. She had sponsors coming out of the woodwork probably that are all like, doop, 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 drying up. I don't know. That would suck. It really would suck. I don't know what she signed a contract. I don't know how that works. I don't know what she gets from the cancellation of the contract. But don't go too harshly because we see the fans turn against a fighter so fast.
Too quickly. Well, there was a fighter that turned on her, and her name is the Evil Eye herself, getting in there, throwing down with Eubanks, where I'm like, all right, Sajara, you might have made me a fan. Get her, girl! Get her! You know I'm behind that boat.
Oh, perfect. That's a perfect way to start a fight.
Let's get it
And
going,
it kind of
girl.
gets Evil Eye's name into the conversation. of
I
this
totally agree.
125
Let's go,
division.
Eubanks. You got that heavy right. Little headlight on the gas tank, but come on, Evil Eye.
You don't think Evil Eye can take her down, wear out that gas tank?
I think she can, but I think Eubanks can also land that
I
right
feel
over
like
the
I got
top.
eye decision in that fight.
You're gonna get pink eye.
Why am I-
You're
that was
gonna
so
get
dirty.
pink
I just
eye.
got poo-poo in
Yeah,
my eye.
hell yeah, that was so dirty. You got blocked.
I look so
You
much
got
better.
blocked by the
No,
Evil Eye
Lesbo and the
herself.
Bean is blocked. Both of us together, collectively.
That's why I feel outraged still. Every time I see the evil one herself.
I haven't seen Sanjay Eubanks do too much in there yet. She did the tough house, and we haven't seen anything. And she had a hard time making weight.
She
the
didn't
entire
make weight.
time.
That's why Roxanne Modafferi got a
Yeah,
title shot
so-
against Nico Montano.
And no offense to Roxanne Modafferi and Nico Montano, they're just not. The 125 is a weak division.
Oh yeah.
It's a weak division, and that about Bullet is a dragon in a weak division, slaying. She's a dragon slayer. Coach Kavanaugh. We just had this whole mind blowing thing beforehand because Coach Kavanaugh was on Joe Rogan, and we were like, oh my gosh, what's the guy that just got voted into Supreme Court? Holy shit, his last name's Kavanaugh too. I was like, I felt like, have you ever seen Wayne's World?
Yes.
Where you're going,
Yes, totally.
Okay.
Tubular.
What else is going on? I don't have all my apps on this thing.
There was announced fights. Oh, if there's something to watch, if you want to get a loved one that may not necessarily like MMA as much as you do, but you want to show them a history of our sport and a very touching piece, UFC just came out with a little doc piece, short piece. Get your tissues because Matt Hughes is a very changed man in his life, and it's the whole process of him coming back from that accident he had about a year ago. UFC did a little docu-series, and I haven't been able to get through it because I got lemon juice or something in my eye while I was watching it on the couch, and it's touching the bits and pieces I've seen it. I gotta get
Of what?
the old lady to sit down and watch it with me.
Because, sorry, I was reading the fight you were talking about between Sanjaya Eubanks and Ben Askren. I was catching up. And
The
I was
Matt
like,
Hughes
damn.
the Matt Hughes documentary.
Oh, I already know. The Country Boy Can't Survive.
You better get a tissue box.
I
I'm
don't
just
even-
saying.
I don't even want to. I don't even think I'm gonna.
I've tried, and I'm just like, what I need to do is get the old lady down because it's such a touching piece that it's going to make her look at MMA in a different light, I think. As you were saying, Ben Askren
You've
versus...
been a fan your whole time you guys have been together.
Oh, before we've
Yeah,
been together.
way.
She don't know.
And you're a huge fan.
She has no idea.
She still has zero interest.
Yep. Yep.
This is gonna be the
with
thing.
the John Jones talk, she knows John Jones. You get into John Jones stuff, she's like, what? Did you just say? And I'm like, I know, girl. Of course I know. You're telling me. But, yeah, that's the times that I've been surprised. As you were saying, though, Eubanks getting into it with Ben Askren, it's pretty nasty. There's a lot of fans trying to tell Eubanks, like, hey, chill out, homie. You're making yourself look a little bad right now. Going after his 18-0 record, saying that he is not. He's a has-been that never was. Something along those lines.
He's the wrestler that never was. He's 18-0 and can't make it to the big show. She's 14-2 and in there like swimwear.
It's 4-2. And it's actually
Or
3 and 2.
That's what I meant, 4 and 2. I'm sorry. I did mean 4 and 2. Not 14 at all.
So, Eubanks, though, getting, I think, more followers. People are telling her to calm down, and I'm like, it's kind of the world we live in right now. You got to jump out of the cage to make the headlines, baby. You can't just be knocking people out in there. And you got to make weight. You always got to make weight.
Yeah, making weight, I think, is... You can jump out of a cage and kick somebody in the face. You can throw a dolly through a bus window. You can be a racist and beat up your girlfriend. But what you cannot do is not make weight. UFC fans, remember that? Like no other.
I would slightly disagree. I don't think you can be a racist and beat up your girlfriend. I mean, you can, but I don't think it's something you should strive for.
You can call Jesus gay.
Yes.
You can do things, and UFC fans can move on. They can make a mockery of it. They can move on. But what they cannot do is handle it if people miss weight.
Agreed. It is something that's just one of those unwritten codes that's so been tromped on. And I guess it's just the wrestling in me because it's been such a stain in wrestling careers, I guess, for collegiate wrestling or Olympic wrestling. Anything else you want to bring to the table? Any other hot heat that we got, late breaking news of the sorts?
Well, they're keeping on 230. I've seen Nate Diaz's name stay on the bill. So I hope they get a replacement fight for him.
Okay.
So.
But that card's still fire. That card's still dope as hell. There's a lot of fights on that card.
It's still better than 229.
That are really, really fun.
Israel Adesanya and Derek Brunson. Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman. David Branch, Ronaldo Souza. Aliev versus Good. Frivola, Leandro Venata.
Yep.
Kelleher, Pilardi.
Arcee's in there too?
Arce Moraes, but not Marlon Moraes. Shame on Moraes. Jason Knight versus Rinaldi starts off the night.
The Rinaldi fight is the worst fight of the night, and that's a good-ass fight, and that's the beginner. That card is stacked. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you.
It's going to be an exciting
It's going to be an exciting night of fights. I can't wait for that 2:30 to come around the corner. We're going to have a lot more before we get there, though. We're going to have a lot to break down again. Going to have to get on that Bellator coming up this weekend. We're going to have some vets going at it. I believe it's the Mitrione and Ryan Bader fight. That's a fun one. That's a UFC caliber fight, honestly. So
I know.
If you need to watch it,
Bader is who I think is going to win the tournament from the beginning, and you've thought Mitrione from the beginning.
Let's go.
So this is it.
Let's go.
This is it. This is the fight. I still have Bader. I actually went onto my Tapology and picked one fight for the weekend.
For Bellator? I might do that as well because I don't like to ruin my Tapology scores with any other stuff.
My Tapology scores this year. It's been a rough year in MMA.
It's been a fun year. Upsets are a good thing.
It's been amazing. I like it. Every single... It's so rare that it's ups. Things I'm bummed about... I don't care that I've seen so many fighters jump out of the ring. I think it's crazy if he's going to get in trouble for it. Unless whoever he hit is pressing charges. Otherwise, it should be a slap on the wrist. Khabib moves on. But I'm upset I didn't get to listen to him talk afterward. I'm upset there wasn't that moment with Joe Rogan and he puts the hat on his head. Like, the whole Khabib win. I feel like I missed out on something. So, I am bummed for him that he couldn't handle it in that moment.
Agreed.
Did you see him sitting on Dana's car?
I didn't know that was Dana's car.
Yeah, he's like, Dana, I know where you park. I was going to smash your car if you didn't give me my belt.
No way.
Yeah, or something like that
something
underneath
like
it.
Jokingly, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he was like sitting on it. I don't know what else is going on. I don't know if there's anything else in the world of MMA.
PFL, also, I believe it's Friday or Saturday. That's going to have some fun ones on it. Going to be able to see some new up-and-coming talent. UFC matchmakers do watch these fights as well. They look for talent. They snipe good-looking guys out of there, so they have some more fluid relationships. I know KSW's got a couple big fights. If you're not subscribed to Fight Pass, you need to. They got tons. They're Netflix of the combat community in my eyes.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's Derrick Lewis versus Daniel Cormier.
It's a fun one. I didn't need it, but
Do you
it's
think
okay.
it's fair to Stipe, though?
100% don't. But it's like having a good meal and then someone bringing you a cookie. You might say yes, you might say no, but you're not going to be mad at anyone.
If you get to pick right now for Madison Square Garden who fights Nate, who are you picking? The UFC calls you in a minute.
At 155?
Yeah.
T-Ferg, baby, save the day.
What about Justin Gaethje?
That's a really good one, too. But T-Ferg does need a break as well. I love
Maybe
Gaethje.
that knee a break.
Gaethje did have a short fight, under a minute, took no damage. I like that. I think Gaethje's a good call.
Oh, he did have a fast fight.
It was super fast. No
But
damage
we haven't
at all.
seen Kevin Lee in forever. I'd really like Kevin Lee to get in there. But he could fight somebody else. They could put it on that card, too.
I do think Gaethje's probably the best fight, actually. It really is. The more I mull it over in my head. It's a marquee fight. Nate Diaz brings in people. Gaethje brings in people.
You know who is so susceptible to leg kicks? Nate Diaz. And the
It's a fun one.
nastiest leg kicks. Yeah. And Gaethje, crazy wrestler. Nate, good jiu-jitsu. Ooh. I think Gaethje could pull that fight out.
I think that's a minus 115. Legitimately, that's a coin flip of a fight.
It's exciting.
Slight edge Diaz.
Yeah. I think that's everything. I know we're going to get off and be like, we totally forgot to blah, 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 blah,
100%.
blah.
That's how it
But
goes.
if you want to hear us talk about it, make sure you're liking and subscribing. And once again, thanks for listening, because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we're at.
Let's go the beat!
Thanks for listening to LaTB. For all things Lesbo and the Bean, head over to lesboandthebean.com or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.